Welcome to Maranatha Christian Academy in Brooklyn Park, where we present our next edition of high school girls basketball. Today, a rising program in Class 3A visits one of the Class A perennials, as the Maranatha Christian Academy Mustangs, number 4 in Class A, take on the Como Park Cougars from St. Paul. Greetings, everyone. Mike Peden here with Brianna Edwards. And Brianna, you don't have any personal connection with this school, but Maranatha's name very familiar with basketball fans. 5 state tournaments in the last 5 years. A very consistent group, and no different this year.
Of course, yes, they're doing really, really well. Actually, I think everyone on their team but one person has actually been to the state tournament, so that's really great to have a veteran group and a strong team, and I guess it's going to be a really, really good game today.
Maranatha last won in 2012. That was a back-to-back year, and they are a front runner again in Class A, thanks in large part to Lexi Lee, 5th in the state in scoring, and also in the top 10 in assists and steals, and just continuing the line of talent that comes through Maranatha.
Definitely, and then they have a point guard that actually led the state in assists last year, so it should be really, really interesting. You got 2 people that actually are doing really well for their team that like to distribute the ball, which they're a high-paced team as well, so this should be an interesting game. That
player was Elena Jarnett. We'll talk more about her. A very interesting story, but a very balanced group. Maranatha loves to push the ball. They've scored 100 points 3 times, and this will be no different. Como Park also can push the pace, and their big reason for that is Andrea Adams. She recently crossed 2,000 career points, 2nd in the state in scoring, and if she wasn't pulled out of so many blowouts that Como Park has had, she probably would be leading.
Definitely. I think the kids should definitely have 3,000 points by this time. But, I mean, sometimes that's what coaches do to ground their players. They take them out so they know they don't get hurt, and making sure that they stay humbled.
And she's very seasoned when it comes to varsity play. She started as a 7th grader at Edison, then played at South as an 8th grader. Last 3 years with Como Park. What does that level of experience bring?
It gives her composure, so she knows how to handle the game. She really kind of understands it, and she knows that she doesn't have to do too much, and she just does enough to perform. So being on varsity for that many years, it gives her experience, and she just pretty much is a well-rounded player.
Now, Maranatha has a little more depth, but Como Park, they've won their last 10 in a row. Their talent is going up. What will this game come down to as far as the victor is determined?
I think it's going to be a great test for both teams. They kind of have different styles, but they both get up and down the court. So it's going to kind of see where the teams are as, states coming around. So just kind of see where they are defensively and offensively right now.
High-flying action coming your way here in Brooklyn Park. Starting lineups are coming up in a moment. Welcome back to Maranatha Christian Academy. And Brianna, we don't go to too many schools that open up with a prayer before we get things started, but this school connected to the Living World Church, and very much a theme here.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I think because honestly, most players pray if they are religious. They pray before the game anyway. So I think it's nice that they actually pray before in every game. That's great.
Well, I know that's a custom for the women's blue chip games as well.
Yeah.
Before we get to the starters, there's something I want to get out of the way. And that has to do with a couple of players who, I didn't know this, I signed autographs for them a few years ago at Lynx games. They saw me with the credential and asked for my autograph, and I signed it for them. And until today, I did not know who those kids were. And now I was told that back then I made the day for Ella Berg and Sophia Montgomery, both 8th graders on this team. And if we mention this because if they take a look at their signs that are behind us for each of the player fan boards, there will be a special greeting awaiting them at the end of this one.
Definitely.
Never did I think those autographs would have so much meaning.
Definitely. Maybe they might be coming in and take my job, and they'll be helping you out in a couple years.
Well, I'd say you're doing a pretty good job so far. I think you're safe for now.
Thank you. Thank you.
The starting 5 for both schools for the visiting Como Park Cougars. Number 3, Zanash Jerdrum, 5'6" senior guard. Number 15, Andrea Adams, 5'8" junior guard. Number 23, Rebecca Hausman, 5'7" junior guard. Number 24, Caitlin Jones, 5'10" senior forward. And number 32, Michaela Vanette, 5'7" freshman guard. Maranatha will start Lexi Lee, number 0, 5'8" senior guard. Number 1, Jacqueline Jarnett, 6-foot freshman forward. Number 4, Ashley Lewis, 5'8" junior guard. Number 12, Elena Jarnett, 5'7" junior guard. And number 23, Jessie Mayan, 5'10" senior forward. Jessie Mayan, the twin sister of Jake Mayan, who plays on the boys team, who we had a couple of weeks ago against Minneapolis North.
That's nice. I always enjoy the twins. I think it's great.
Did you ever imagine what your life would be like if you had a twin?
I think it would be a lot of havoc for my mother because I think I am ultimately too much to handle as one individual. So 2 of me would be horrible.
Well, you had a spiritual one of sorts. I mean, you graduated with folks like Taylor Hill, and
yeah,
maybe you two represented yin and yang. She went to
definitely.
South, you went to North, and well, she won the state title, and we won't go any further.
So I think you're gonna start off with that right away, like right away today. I think you're gonna start off with throwing that state championship in my face. It's okay.
Well, I love nothing more than having fun at everyone else's expense.
That is awful. That is just awful.
I'm insufferable that way.
You definitely are.
And as Shrek would say, it's no wonder you don't have any friends. No, plenty of friends here, and welcome the friends who are watching us here on Prep 45 and on TV. Maranatha with the first possession there in the black jerseys, Como wearing the white. Maranatha 14-1, and they will not wait long to fire the ball. I spoke with their coach, Chris Bierman, and he said Maranatha, on average, will take about 9 to 14 seconds from the first touch to a shot. It's an offense that is similar to what the Minnesota Golden Gophers run with Marlene Stallings. Runner, no bounce, and the rebound by Caitlin Jones.
I'm excited to see number 15 play. I heard a lot about her.
Andrea Adams, well, you'll hear more about her. She crossed 2,000 career points, averaging close to 29 a game. She can't get the bounce here. And the thing with Adams, she's a very efficient shooter. I've covered a couple of Como Park games for my other show, and she doesn't take a lot of shots, but she's averaging about 50%.
That's awesome. It's always great to be a great scorer and be efficient.
Open three for Ashley Lewis. Bang! Ashley Lewis, a transfer from Park Center.
Coach says she brings a lot of intensity on the defensive side of the floor.
Jerdrum on the line. Bounces it in.
Got it. Wasn't pretty, but it went in there. It looked nice when it goes in.
It always looks nice when it goes in.
Miscommunication from Como Park right there.
But they escape as Maya was unable to put it down. But the steal by Lee. 2-on-1, pulls up. That rims out. And Adams with the rebound. She's swarmed. And Como's got to help her out. Well, they get the pass off, but Van Net's going to step into a three. That's off the mark.
I see both teams like quick shots.
Lewis with space, and she draws a foul on Adams. And Adams can only laugh about it, but I did see contact from up here. Well, you mentioned Ashley Lewis. Chris Bierman said defensively she could guard any player in the Class A field.
That's awesome. That's great. That means she can guard a post player and a point guard. You have to be really talented to be able to do that. As she makes the first free throw.
And in 8 games, she's averaging 9.5 points. Missing the back end. 9.5 points and 6.9 rebounds a game. Lee for 3, bullseye.
Maranatha is looking to take very quick shots.
A 4-point play in reverse. Van Net's in trouble.
You see that aggressiveness from Ashley.
And the foul before the shot. That's all Como Park could do to stop another fast break.
She took a couple extra steps. Travel.
No, traveling. So I thought it was a foul. Good. Well, it's clear you have a good eye on this. Well, you played, so you probably know what a traveling violation is like. Jerdrum in trouble. Going to Jones.
Nice strong move in the inside.
And Caitlin Jones knows both ends. She is actually an official herself. She takes part in the U10 Youth Leagues.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. That's awesome what she's doing.
We'll talk a little more about that when we get a moment, because this is a frenetic style of play that I haven't seen all year. Oh, great move inside. Count it for Jones.
Definitely a strong finish.
Caitlin Jones, for the last 3 years, during the winter, while she's playing for Como Park, she's officiating at the youth leagues, the U10, and she really loves it. I talked to her before the game. She said she used to hate officials. The foul's on Lexi Lee. She couldn't stand them, but being in the stripes for 3 years has a greater understanding for them, and especially at this level, a lot of them participate because they love the sport.
Definitely. And I bet she now understands what a referee has to go through.
Andrea Adams is in the game, but Elena Jarnett taking advantage of Adams' situation. Andrea did not want 2 quick fouls, and Jarnett drains the mid-range floater. Adams, I don't know what that was, but she gets the foul on the basket.
That was a great, strong move. She knew she was going to take that ball in from half court.
All the way, it looked like she wasn't sure what she was going to do, and I think she fooled Maranatha. She definitely fooled me. Andrea Adams, in her freshman season at Como, averaged 13 points per game. Now she's up to 28.6. But Como an 0 for 2 start from the free throw line. Maranatha trying to push. Lee for 3. Short.
Maranatha takes no time to get the ball up.
9 to 14 seconds might be a little too much. Elena Jarnett with the steal. Goes around Adams, can't post up. Rebound is tapped around and goes to Andrea Adams. Rain hit a crucial 3-pointer in Como Park's victory over St. Paul Central, their first in 25 years. It was originally thought 34, but head coach John Robinson confirmed the historical accuracy, and the last victory was in 1990. That's still a long time.
Yes.
I was only 3 years old.
I wasn't born yet.
You weren't born yet. The foul is on Ashley Lewis, her first personal. 14:33 to go in the first period. And Maranatha with a 9-8 lead. Overpass. But Van Nett recovers. It was deflected, so no backcourt. Hausman, long 2, too strong. Lewis, looking for the transition. And Andrea Adams swipes it away.
She's active on both sides of the floor. The person that she telegraphed that pass, as soon as she knew it was going to come right to the girl.
Andrea leading the team in steals at 2.7. Fade away, swish.
She was working on that. I seen her take about 50 of those shots on when she was practicing in warm-ups.
Andrea Adams can shoot from just about anywhere. Scramble for the ball. Won by Maranatha and a foul on Van Nett. Jarnett goes baseline, but unable to put it down is number 15. We'll get her name here in a second. That is Sammy Payne. Normally starts. Adams for 3, off the heel. Her younger sister with the rebound, but loses the ball in the process. And that's a traveling violation. Also on the floor for the Mustangs, number 20, Naja Watkins. And Chris Bierman said it's not uncommon for him to put in 12 or 13 players because Maranatha's just that deep, but Van Nett has the steal. Como Park in transition. Van Nett goes to the rim and comes up empty. And that's tough.
Missing a lot of easy bunnies. Maranatha and both Como Park.
Well, when you think the frenetic tempo has something to do with it, both teams are playing so fast that...
Yeah.
Lee. Oh, that was from deep and short. Adams with the rebound. Adams. Whoa, what a great dribble. A little behind the back crossover.
The kid's definitely talented. The kid's definitely talented.
Well, she's had looks from a lot of D1 schools, including top-ranked South Carolina. Led by Dawn Staley.
Dawn Staley loves active guards.
Elena Jarnett scoring off the bank. 12-11, Como Park leads. Andrea Adams, 14-footer. Gets the bounce.
Are they sisters?
They are sisters. Rain, the younger sister of Andrea. And she'll pick up a foul. Rain, a very aggressive player. Not as polished as her older sister is, but I've seen her play in some JV games, and she brings a lot of intensity. And you know that you've gone through this. That first year, even as a freshman, well, Maranatha with an overpass. They can't save it. Rain Adams goes to the rack and scores.
Well, she has the potential to be just as good as her sister. She's very active.
Jarnett for three. Bullseye. Nope, that's a two-pointer. (16-14) is the score. Rain Adams doesn't score a lot, but Vanette has struggled in the opening minutes.
She's bringing the ball too low. They're getting their hands on it a lot.
16-13. Now to finish up that point, even like for someone like Morgan Hill, who's a freshman at Minneapolis South, there's a lot of growing to do even as a freshman in high school, so a degree of patience is required.
You require a lot of patience because the player that you are your freshman year won't be the player you are your senior year.
Or even the player that you were at Providence.
Definitely. I'm not even the same player I was in college, and that was only 2 years ago.
Scramble for the ball. Elena Jarnett faking, but Adams with the block. Vanette goes to the floor, and that's going to make an easy bucket for Jacqueline Jarnett.
This is a very scrappy game. I like it.
Michaela Vanette is just getting pounded. But Maranatha recognizing she is the weak link right now. And there's a foul on Rebecca Hausman.
It's a pretty good pass. You have to finish that one.
Well, and with Como Park, they're at that stage where wherever Andrea Adams goes, the team usually follows. And that is the case with a lot of programs. Waconia and Anna Schmidt come to mind, and Brand and Rebecca Dahlman, New Richland and Carly Wagner.
And Andrea Adams taking a couple possessions off. She hasn't crossed half court on that play. She's sitting there at the free throw line. She's probably a little winded.
That's not to say Como Park is a bad team. It's just Maranatha a little deeper.
Yeah, he's rotating that lineup in real fast.
And Rain Adams was a little out of control. Elena Jarnett. Kickball. Elena Jarnett, she's got a great first step.
Definitely. I like her game. She's quick, and she goes hard the entire time on both ends of the floor, and she's responsible for shutting down Andrea Adams today, so she's going to be a little exhausted after this game.
Jarnett played the point guard spot last year, led the state in assists. Lee again. No, but Lewis is there. Now she'll launch for three. That's short. And the rebound going to number 12. That is, I don't have her name. We'll have to pick that up here. But she loses the ball.
I'm surprised Lexi Lee is held scoreless right now. She's leading the team in scoring at 26.4 points.
Well, Elena Jarnett doing the dirty work right now. She's up to 8. Rain Adams showing shades of her sister there, isn't she?
Definitely. If they're gonna watch and monitor her sister, the little sister's definitely gonna score when she's open.
Baseline J is short. Andrea Adams with the rebound. She draws a double team. And it works up, pays off as Adams stepped on the baseline. And here come more subs for Maranatha. Among them, number 10, Kylie Post.
And also number 12 comes in.
Well,
number 4 comes in for
number 4, so.
Monique Baker.
On the line. No good from Post. Lewis had the rebound and is stripped away. Como Park turns it right back. Lexi Lee hasn't found her stroke yet for three-point range, and Como Park going to take a dead ball rebound, probably to catch their breath.
Yeah, I'm just happy that Lexi Lee is not afraid to shoot it. Even though she hasn't hit one, she's going to continue to keep shooting. That means that shows for a great leader. We also have number 3 in the game for Como Park as well.
Andrea Adams draws a foul.
Zanash.
Oh, Zanash Jerdrum. She was one of the starters, and now she's back in. Adams will go to the line and shoot a pair. Andrea Adams, 40% from three-point range, and then 50% overall from the floor, also averaging 3.4 rebounds.
78% from the free throw line. That's pretty impressive.
Although
the girl's efficient.
She's missed her first 2.
Maybe a little jitters. They are working her a little bit hard today.
Well, and this is going to be one of those games that really challenges her because Como had 2 easy wins this week against Washington and Harding, where Adams got to sit out. Even the Harding game, she put up 26 but didn't have to play that much. Now you're going up against a team who can match you in athleticism.
Exactly. This is going to see exactly how talented she really is today.
Ashley Lewis, the drive is short. She gets her own rebound and draws the foul.
Oh, Andrea Adams picked up her second.
And that's going to make things difficult for Como Park because she is the team.
Coach trusts her though, because he definitely is not taking her out the game.
Meanwhile, Maranatha, in the words of Chris Bierman, the most experienced young team you will ever meet. The young players are still feeling things out, but the veterans, they have their expectations. Ashley Lewis making both free throws. And because they play at such a frenetic tempo, they can go down by a margin, but they feel they can come back at any time. Rain Adams, she's had her moments, and then, she has those freshman growing pains.
It happens. She'll grow out of it. That's what they call growing pains.
Andrea Adams goes for the deflection, and it actually worked out that she didn't touch the ball.
Definitely.
Maranatha turning it over on the overpass. And Bierman feels because of their scoring, they can go down big, but it also means they can take more defensive risks. Well, and that paid off that time, but then Lewis overpassed Elena Jarnett, so we're going to have a timeout to settle this. Maranatha, in the words of Bierman, as we're in this timeout, it's not just their experience. He said Maranatha's a team that a lot of schools will scrimmage against, but they're afraid to play.
Yeah, that says a lot about them then, because they don't want to get that loss on that record.
To a Class A team, and the thing is, they've been so used to going to state, and that includes 2 state tournament wins. You mentioned only 1 player has not been to a state tournament. They've won so many conference titles that it just comes almost second nature to them. They don't take much notice. They have bigger goals in mind.
It's great because that means all these girls know how to do is win and compete.
And Maranatha, one of the teams that usually is a perennial in the Class A field. And this Chris Bierman in his 2nd season here at Maranatha. He's been coaching for 18 years, but his very first game with the Mustangs was against Como Park last year.
Wow.
He has a very good relationship with John Robinson. Adams, no good.
Adams struggling for a stroke right now as well.
And Van Nett commits the foul. That's Como Park's last to give. I was going to say John Robinson and Chris Bierman, they have a very good rapport. They were sharing a few stories before the game when I got here to do my pregame prep work. Entry pass.
Miscommunication for Como Park.
And Jesse Mayan, the twin brother of Jake, gets on the board. And Maranatha with a 21-19 lead.
Maranatha putting on a little pressure right now. They're in a 1-2-2 press.
Jerdrum. Van Nett for 3. Off the mark. Mayan wins the battle for the ball, but loses it to Rain Adams, and Andrea Adams with an easy bucket. Rain Adams showing a lot of intensity today. Lewis open for three. That's too strong. Andrea Adams may not be scoring a lot, but picking up a lot of boards today. Bounce pass to Jerdrum, she can't handle it.
Rain Adams is giving them a lot of energy off the bench.
Well, here's an interesting story about Maranatha. In addition to their state tournaments, they're very academically sound. Last year, they did not get the Academic All-State Award as they usually do, and the reason for that was because of all the snow days.
That's terrible.
Jacqueline Jarnett.
For snow days.
Ashley Lewis with the cleanup after Jarnett's missing the baseline. Well, they go by quarters, and because they had so many snow days, one of the grading periods was past the deadline. Oh, Rain Adams may have gotten away with the travel, and instead, Caitlin Jones gets the M1. Well, Como Park, let's see if they can make the most out of this situation. Both teams. Caitlin Jones does a lot of work down in the boards, but gets along with this team. Was a transfer from St. Paul Johnson. And from the moment she set foot in the Como Park uniform, Andrea and the rest of the team embraced her, and she calls this team pretty much like another family.
We have number 23, Rebecca
Hausman.
Hausman checking in for Como Park.
Lexi Lee not giving up. Bullseye.
Finally on the board. I bet she's happy to see that one go in.
That's her second three. She fully enjoys her role in the spotlight this year. Last year, she was more of a secondary option with Madison Lee, who's now playing at MSU Mankato. Oh. Jacqueline Jarnett read the pass beautifully, and there's a transition bucket. Maranatha's depth starting to hold influence here as they call timeout with 6:01 left in the first.
Como Park looked a little winded on that play. Nobody got back on defense.
So, how odd is it, though, to not get an academic award because your snow days messed up your schedule?
I think that wasn't fair to the girls. I think they worked pretty hard. They deserve that. But, hey, you never know. Being in Minnesota, you sometimes have to deal with snow days. They probably appreciated the snow days anyway.
Well, my brother didn't last year. After, I think, the fifth one, there were 5 cancellations, and even my youngest brother was starting to complain about it. But I suppose one day it's like, hey, we get a day off. You get 5 or 6 of them.
You're like, okay, I'm ready to go back to school now.
You have cabin fever.
Right? Like, I'm tired of being home.
I never dealt with that problem when I was in school.
That 1-2-2 again.
Rain Adams. She can't handle it. Lexi Lee's going to get 2 points out of this one. Now they get the ball to Andrea Adams. Now she's left alone. Como Park breaks the press, but they can't get anything out of it. They weren't able to handle the ball in time.
The pressure seems to be getting to Como Park right now.
A strip from behind by Rebecca Hausman, and Jacqueline Jarnett can't get a fast break too. Andrea Adams draws a foul, and we talk about first step for Elena Jarnett. Andrea Adams, she's got a shifty one as well.
I think she likes that hesitation a little bit. You get your defender to stop up a little bit, hesitate, and then she goes right around it. It's pretty awesome.
She'll shoot 2. 13.8 points per game her freshman year. Last year, she bumped that up to 20.9. Now she's at 28.6. And a lot of that has to do with, at the start of her sophomore season, she got looked at and they corrected what was a lingering hamstring injury that hampered her mobility. And since then, she's been able to play pain-free, and she's struggling a bit from the free throw line.
I think that exhaustion is starting to get to her. She's a little tired.
And remember, Como Park playing last night. Even though it wasn't a tough game, it can wear on you. Both teams out of fouls to give, by the way. Maranatha last playing on Thursday night, they had a similarly easy path. They played against Minneapolis Edison, a team that's still building, and the press for Maranatha flustering Como Park right now.
That 1-2-2 is something hard to get by if you don't have someone in the middle to pass to.
I'm guessing you faced that formation many times at North and at Providence.
Definitely. We actually played that formation at Providence and North.
Well, it got you a state tournament out of it, and it got you some moments at Providence. And Lexi Lee finding her range from distance now. Maranatha with their largest lead of the game at 9.
She's definitely getting going now.
There's the press again. Adams trying to break it. And she does it all by herself. Rain Adams hit with a foul. Como Park in the penalty. That will send Elena Jarnett to the line. She's played more shooting guard this season. We noted she was the point last year, led the state in assists, touching the ball at about a third of the rate she did last year. But because she delivers the ball in rhythm so well, she's efficient, and that's why she's still in the top 3 in assists. To be precise, Jarnett, 6.6 assists per game and 20.1 points per game. Splits there. And last touch by number 11 for the Mustangs, Elise Moore.
They're in it. Now they're switched it up. They went to a 2-2-1 press. Let's see how much problems this gives Como Park this time. She throws it right over the top.
Well, because Adams is the one bringing the ball up court, she can't get down there in time, so this press is working out for Maranatha. And they don't have time to set up for a rebound either. Elena Jarnett buries a 3.
Como Park is struggling with that press, and it's leading to miscommunications on defense.
And if I'm not mistaken, Maranatha's on a 13-2 run.
Yes, they definitely are, because they actually tied at 23-all, and then you had Andrea Adams, and she went to the basket, and she had the layup, and then she had a free throw, and then after that, it was kind of been held scoreless.
Well, with Elena Jarnett, who scored the last basket, previous coaches tried to slow her down, and Chris Bierman, his philosophy was to speed things up, or actually keep her at her pace, because this is a very fast-paced team.
And she actually benefits from that, because you can tell in her game that she likes to be fast, and she likes to go back and forth and up and down, so that's actually great for her to be playing in this system.
And I asked him about, well, what about defense, or how do you handle miscues because you're playing so fast, and Chris Bierman said if we throw the ball away but we're still aggressive, he's not going to pout about it.
Yep. I just read that. He said his ideal thing is that you don't pout about it, you just get it back on defense, and also his philosophy is to get the ball up as fast as possible.
And they play so many possessions that you don't have a lot of time to sulk. You can recover.
Exactly.
And make that push. And he said that style required some sacrifice. And Maranatha, they were a pretty up-tempo team beforehand, before he came in. But when he came into the his style adjusts based on who he's playing. So if he goes up against a big team, they'll play more of a power lineup. Against a smaller team like Como Park, he'll go to more of a shifty unit with a guard-heavy group.
Well, now Maranatha will switch from man-to-man to zone. Let's see how this works out for them.
They may not stay there for long. Number 12 makes the 3. We'll get her name in a moment. But Sammy Payne is right there for the answer.
And just that fast, Maranatha answers.
I don't think they're even taking 9 seconds.
It seems more like 3.
Adams, no good from three-point range. Lewis with the rebound. Van Nett, a little too wild. Caitlin Jones has it. And she gets the fade away. I don't think she needed to, but give her 2 points. She's up to 8. Elena Jarnett, she's fouled.
Elena Jarnett gets up the court really, really fast. She said her first step is fast. I think the next 9 are just as fast.
So she'll shoot 2. The foul is Caitlin Jones's first. And she makes the front end. Running out of things to say about Elena Jarnett. Well, and she has a good cleanup crew, too. That's Anna Holmgren.
I don't know what the rebound count is, but Maranatha is definitely out-rebounding on the offensive end more than Como Park
and
right
Van
now.
Nett goes NBA range for the triple.
I know she's happy to see that goal, and she's been struggling early on, so I hope it gets her into her rhythm.
Lewis to 15. Sammy Payne with the tray. 45-34.
I think these teams are going to get to 100 by the end of this game.
We could. Steal by Elena Jarnett. Here she comes. Give her the deuce.
Elena Jarnett just works great on both ends of the floor.
Andrea Adams giving a word to Michaela Van Nett. This game is moving so fast, I wanted to say something about Holmgren, who scored that putback. High Karam going to Hausman. And the foul. We still don't know who number 12 is. She is not listed on the program sheet, so I'm going to have to go and get that information myself. But Anna Holmgren, who scored that putback, she came off an ACL tear in the summer, and in only 5.5 months recovered enough where actually her first game, or her first points of the season, was scored against Minneapolis Edison on Thursday.
Wow.
Well, and you're seeing quicker recovery times now with ACL tears. It used to be a year before you could get back in. Now it's 6 to 8 months.
Yep.
Therapy is improving, and number 12, whoever she is, she has 5 off the bench. And Como Park may need every one of those points to hang in this one. 47-36. Maranatha's not going to wait. Rebound by number 25, Jasmine Thomas. She loses the ball to Lewis.
Steal by Lewis.
Elena Jarnett, that was a great fake to keep the three-pointer, but didn't get it. Andrea Adams bouncing over, and
Baker couldn't handle the pass.
You're seeing a huge difference here. Como Park has a great player in Adams, but Maranatha
has great players.
They've got more teammates. Adams doesn't have that option per se. Kind of like the last few years of the Gophers, where it was primarily Rachel Banham. Elena Jarnett, runner, no good. Oh, and Monique Baker wasn't paying attention. Throws it away, but Lexi Lee couldn't put it down. Andrea Adams kicks out. No three-pointer. Blocked by Van Nett. Andrea Adams calling for a Como Park. Doesn't go there, though. And the touches for Andrea Adams have been few. Fires the three. Bullseye!
Como Park definitely needed that one. They were struggling from the offensive line.
And you noticed your defender didn't go out to her, and Adams just fired the three before she had a chance to react. 47-39 with just a minute to play. Lewis to Lee. Lee finds the lane. No! Oh, I had a beautiful look.
Adams definitely has to have double-figure minutes. And
Count
she
it!
takes the ball all the way to the basket.
Andrea Adams with some clutch plays in the final minute. This is by far the fastest game I have covered all year. And Andrea Adams, we talk about, doesn't get too many touches, but very efficient. She's up to 17 points.
Alrighty. She's going to end the game with 40.
I was going to say, you wouldn't even know she has that amount.
I know. I thought it was more like 10.
She completes a three-point play, so she's up to 18, and Como Park has trimmed this margin to 5.
She is on a 6-0 run by herself.
And Como Park needs it. Let's see if Maranatha opts to hold, or will they push? Post has it. Curls, runner, no.
Good.
And Jacqueline Jarnett couldn't go reverse. Lewis has it. Lee is open for three. That's short as well. Andrea has the rebound.
Again for the rebound. I think she's at 10. She's at a double-double.
She's going to probably have a double-double before this is over.
Maybe a triple-double if her teammates can finish the shots.
Como will hold for the last shot, and I'm not surprised by this move. Will Andrea be the one to take it, or will she look for help? She steps back. Bullseye!
The kid is nice and talented. 9-0 run from Adams by herself.
Andrea Adams giving Como Park a run when they needed it most. And what was an 11-point margin is down to 2, 47-45 at halftime. We barely have time to catch our breath here. Don't blink or you'll miss something.
Exactly, and thanks to Adams, she gave them 9 points to them in the last minute and a half of the game.
So, you think you can handle 18 more minutes of this?
I definitely can, because you won't get tired and you won't get bored, because there's just so much to keep up with. So it's just entertaining the entire way.
There's a lot to talk about, and while we go away to halftime, here's another thing we'll talk about. Caitlin Jones, I had a chance to speak with her before the game. She takes part in the Genesis Works program, and through that program, she's involved in an internship with 3M, which will help her with her marketing aspirations. She's going to go to Florida A&M next year, and we'll take you to that now. Great story. Let's give her the mic.
Last year, my junior year, I was in math class, and a friend of mine that was in the Genesis Works program at the time came up to me early and was like, I feel like you would be the perfect person for this program that I'm in, called Genesis Works. So she told me about the program. I was very interested in it because I felt like it would really help me later on down the line, and also to have a lot of experience in the business field as a high school senior. So I enjoyed talking with her about it. She gave me the information. I applied early, and I interviewed, did great on my interview, and then I got a call back saying, you can be a part of Genesis Works. I just need you to come and commit, pretty much. We did 8 weeks of technical training where we learned about all types of computers, computer software, IT tech support, troubleshooting, all types of things, just dealing with IT. And then we had a professional portion where we learned how to actually interact with people in the business world and how to conduct ourselves as business people, and also how to just be the utmost professional person. And I really grew a lot from that as a person and also as a student, because I absolutely know nothing about IT. So that really made me grow and actually become closer with my parents. My parents are in the IT field, so it helped me to really be able to have conversations with them about new software and things like that. So that was a lot of fun. But it's really helped me as a student, mostly because I'm learning things about myself that I probably wouldn't have learned without being in Genesis Works, like how I like to talk to people. I didn't know that I was that much of a people person until I got into Genesis Works and started talking to people I wasn't used to talking to. So you were put into these classrooms that became more like family. Like, we all still talk to this day. We all on each other's social media. We love each other pretty much, because we formed such a tight-knit bond with each other that people you would never in a million years talk to probably, but then you're not kind of forced, but you're in the classroom with them, you're with them for 8 weeks straight, you might as well get to know them. And so we built a little family, and it was amazing just meeting new people and having new experiences with people that I like. Right now we're in our CCC meetings where we talk every time we meet twice a month on college, financial aid, how to apply to college, when to apply to college, what scholarships you should apply for, when to apply for scholarships, how to write an essay, how to do all those things you need to be successful in college and in getting to college and getting financial aid. The biggest thing it might sound a little funny, but the biggest thing that I've gotten from the 8-week training and being in the professional field is how to dress. I love clothes, I love shoes, I love looking amazing in my eyes. So this really helped me hone in on what it takes to look professional. I knew how to act professional, but I didn't quite know how to look professional. So this program has really helped me hone in on my skills of how to pick out clothes for when I go to work or when I'm going to a business meeting with different type of people, and how I'm engaging what's professional and what's not professional and what's business professional and what's not. It's been amazing learning that. Overall, it's just making me a stronger business person. I do want to major in business and marketing management with a minor in accounting, so I know I'm going to be in the business field for a good chunk of my life. So I want to be able to be the best business person I can be and be the most successful business person. My goals, the reason why I take opportunities now is to put me further ahead than my competition in the business field, the business market. So right now I feel like I'm doing an amazing job of that, putting myself out there more with the help of Genesis Works to be successful and not being so afraid to step out there and take on opportunities that I would be usually afraid of. And Genesis Works has been with me every step of the way. It's wonderful because my parents actually work for 3M as well as project engineers. So it's been amazing being able to be like, have you gotten an email about so-and-so? So it's been pretty cool to start like at dinner talking about things like that. And also just learning how to be a leader. My job always puts me in positions where I have to lead a project or do something on my own, where I have to motivate myself to do my best at whatever project they've given me. And I love how they put me in opportunities to kind of test myself, see if I'm actually doing my job and working the way that I need to work.
Not to mention it makes take your kid to work day quite easy, isn't it?
Quite easy. My parents and me do a lot of carpooling together.
And we're back. Had a great chat with Caitlin Jones, and it's just very exciting to see her. And you were pointing out with Andrea Adams, and I'd seen this in the last 2 Como games. Her trainer, Jermaine Davis.
Yep, played for Cooper.
Yeah, stand out in his own right, and I think he played D1 if I recall.
And he played overseas as well.
And I remember him from his days, and he's over here. And another former player, Danielle Ellison, is an assistant at Como Park.
Yep, I actually played with her this summer.
Oh, yeah, that's right, with the Black Ice. We covered a game where she actually sprained her ankle. We joked about that because she stepped on her Ashley Ellis-Mylan's foot, and you know how that goes. If you step on someone's foot,
it's awful.
You may as well take a club or something, and you may as well take a shotgun to the ankle because that's how it feels.
It does. It's awful. If it ever happened to you, it's awful. It's the worst pain in your life. Or actually, no, stubbing your toe is the worst pain of your life.
Thankfully, I've had neither happen. Let's keep it that way.
Yep, knock on wood.
Maranatha leading 47-45. They led by 11. Then Andrea Adams went on a 9-0 run by herself to make this a 2-point margin. She leads all players with 21 points. Caitlin Jones has 8. Rain Adams has 6. And Autumn Tucker has 5 off the bench. And Maranatha, Elena Jarnett has 14 points. Lexi Lee has 11. And Ashley Lewis has 8. Those are your notables. Semi Payne with 5 off the bench. This is going to be a very exciting second half, to say the least.
Very quick game. There's not been that many fouls. There's been fouls, but the ball has been no dead balls most of this game. It's just been up and down the entire time.
The only time we get a stoppage is for a timeout.
Yeah.
Andrea Adams, there's the step back, and it's still pure.
That kid is tough. She's tough. She has the qualities of a star.
Well, and you mentioned Davis training her. I guess, does he have any secrets, or why do you think she benefits from his training?
Well, he's a scorer, so you can see in her game that she's ultimately a scorer. Like, you got to think, Jermaine, his job was to break people down and score on them. The difference between him and her is that he can dunk.
Well, that might be the only difference.
Right, the only difference, because they're both scorers. Both can shoot, both can get to the basket, got pretty good handles, so I think her game is actually emulated after his.
Jacqueline Jarnett at the line after she drew the foul, averaging 10.9 points per game, but Bierman, the Maranatha coach, said Jacqueline could be the player where you don't know she puts up a lot of points until the game is over. And in a win against Minnesota, Jacqueline led all players with 27.
Wow. So she's a silent assassin. That's what we call him, the silent assassin.
We're tied at 48 after Jarnett splits. Adams losing control and still puts it in.
If they don't get a hand of Andrea Adams, she's going to single-handedly win this game by herself.
Well, if they don't control Lexi Lee, she can do that to you.
Exactly. Those two are two great players going at it. They're not technically guarding each other, but they're both two terrific players.
And as Lexi Lee just demonstrated, she can score off the dribble, and we've seen her jumper already. Hausman kicks out after the miss. They go inside to Jones, and she travels. I've noted this, that Jones favors the drop step, and sometimes Andrea and the others have to remind her to try some other moves.
Yeah.
And you have your preferred moves. I mean, everybody does.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's what my coach used to say. If you can score off that move 9 out of 10 times, continue to keep doing it.
Ashley Lewis with the steal, as Hausman really never had control of the dribble. And Lexi Lee will go to the line for her first trip.
Lexi Lee's trying to remind us, don't forget about me. I can score too, averaging 26.4 points.
Last year in a game against Mountain Iron Buell, Lexi Lee managed to freeze every player on the floor, including her own teammates, because she has a great first step. And with a turn of her head, froze everybody, threw the ball to an open teammate who didn't even know she was open at first.
That happened to me a couple times. I got hit in the face with the ball.
Elena Jarnett with the follow-through. Como over-pursued on Lexi Lee's free throw miss, and now they give a three-point play chance.
This game is going to end at 100 points. 52-50.
16:28 to go. Here comes Jasmine Thomas replacing Hausman. Jasmine Thomas, no relation to the WNBA player for the Mystics. Elena Jarnett making the three-point play, and Como, I know you want to box out and get the rebounds, but you don't want to over-pursue either.
That pass was telegraphed.
Well, and they had Adams double teamed, so they tried to break it, but tough to do.
That was an awesome rebound by Adams.
Adams scooped up, but she lost control because she had no help. And Ashley Lewis is going to make them pay.
For the easy two.
The thing with Adams, she's great, but you can't leave her alone because Maranatha, here comes the 2-2-1 again. And it works again.
Telegraph pass. My coach always said, never look at the person you're passing it to.
And
Como Park making subs fast.
John Robinson not waiting long. Well, Rain Adams and Autumn Tucker, they've proven more resilient against this 2-2-1, and John Robinson not wasting any time getting them in.
He definitely need them because Maranatha definitely was going to go on a run.
They still could. Lexi Lee looking to make that happen. Bullseye.
Has a pretty looking stroke. Pretty looking stroke. Terrific stroke.
And the Mustangs push the lead to 8. Vanette used up the dribble. And John Robinson has to call the timeout again. Just trying to keep the ball away from Andrea Adams, make the other players step up, and some of them is cracking under pressure.
And the best thing for him to do is to put somebody in the middle of the floor. Everybody continues to run down the floor and just try to leave Adams by himself. It's not working. She continues to keep turnovers because none of her teammates are looking for the ball. Well,
Maranatha, as they lead by 8. Community service, a big thing for this school, again, having the religious affiliation. They've done meal packing, several outreach opportunities, and even the team showed their selflessness in respect to their coach. Chris Bierman has a daughter with a very rare genetic disorder called focal dermal hypoplasia.
What is that?
It's a skin and soft tissue condition. Not many people know what it is, and as a result, his daughters had to go through several skin procedures, and she also wears a prosthetic foot. So last year, the team wore a green shoelace to recognize this condition, and Chris Bierman's a guy who, he's not a person that seeks credit, and many coaches don't.
Yeah.
And so he was so surprised by that move, he said he had to go for a walk because he was so taken aback.
That's actually awesome that his girls did that. That shows that he's a great coach. They actually truly love him.
And one thing he said is, the great thing about this team is that his daughter could come in, and she's one of the, she's just as much a teammate as the rest of the Mustangs.
That is always nice to have that relationship with your teammates, that you actually love your coach so much that you'll do anything for him.
Unsolicited, Rain Adams draws a foul on Lewis, but an unsolicited move. It was something they came up with on their own, and it speaks to their intuition, not just off the floor, but on the floor.
Yeah.
Maranatha.
I mean, these are great young ladies.
As we've seen today, Maranatha, great improvisers.
Yes.
I think you could cast them for Whose Line Is It Anyway? I'd love to see them play Party Quirks. Or Scenes from a Hat. Oh! They're going to give her 3. Elena Jarnett hacked Andrea Adams, and the junior guard will shoot 3.
There was a lot of ball, but there was some hand and arm there too.
And if you're coming down, we talk about this a lot, even if you don't make contact, the fact that you're coming down, officials don't have much time to react.
Exactly.
They may make a call based on what they see.
Now, if Elena would have deflected the ball and kind of let her come down, it wouldn't have been a foul. But she was so far under her that she wound up moving her body, and it made her fall, which made the ref react to that. But mostly it was most ball.
And
a lot of ball in that situation.
Another tip, you'll hear a lot of basketball coaches talk about trying to get the block from underneath, because it's harder to get called for a foul that way.
Exactly.
Coming up instead of coming down.
Exactly. Coach says always get it on the way up. And I think Andrea Adams has hit that 28 mark. 29.
That's what I've got her at.
You'll think she get 40 today?
Very well could. Lexi Lee couldn't put down the runner. Adams has it. Como Park going in transition. Adams sees a hole, and Maranatha deflects it away.
She could have passed it on that one. Maranatha is really aggressive on defense.
And Andrea is a person who likes to pass the ball. You know, they sometimes maybe not selfish enough. Rain Adams, how about her game?
She's trying to say, I got it just like my big sister.
She's saying, I got you. Jacqueline Jarnett, bounce pass, deflected by Adams. Wasn't ready in time for the steal, but Maranatha will have to run another set play. Let's see, I want to time this. How long it takes before they fire a shot.
All right, let's
well,
count.
we'll have to...
We'll have to wait for the next inbound.
We'll have to try it again. Because many of these possessions don't feel like they're taking 9 seconds.
I think one took like 2.2 seconds.
58-55 is our score. Como Park scoring the last 5, and we're at a 3-point margin. It's been back and forth all game. Okay, 14-34. Lexi Lee has it, fires, and in 6 seconds gets the N1.
I was going to say 5.5.
I think Bierman was exaggerating a bit with the 9-14.
I think it's more to like a 5 to 10 second range.
And Lexi Lee, as we've seen, the ability to transition, you know, she could have a rough shooting performance and then get points at the free throw line, or in this case, both. That is considered the greatest asset, in the words of Chris Bierman, and Lexi Lee will continue her college or basketball aspirations at Sioux Falls, a Division II school next year. The press again. Como Park has been not able to contain it. Ashley Lewis can't score in transition, but Nigel Watkins will. And Maranatha back up to 8.
Now they're in a diamond side press. They're in a 1-2-1-1, it looks like.
Autumn Tucker left alone, and that looked a little off. Maranatha has numbers again. Lewis draws a foul on Adams. That's her 3rd.
Well, the thing about Como Park is that Adams is the bulk of their scoring, and she's not even crossing half court, because by the time they get the ball over half court, they're turning it over.
And again, I think it has to do with the support. Maranatha may be in Class A, but they have more players who are accustomed to this style of play.
And I kind of figure that whole class thing is just all about the size of your school. I think when you class a school by their, you know, by the size of their school, you really don't give them the opportunity to show their full potential, because they think, well, they're Class A, but I think they could play with some Class 3 and some Class 4 teams.
Well, their lone loss of the season as Adams, that was a tough angle. And there, I think you see that frustration. She's trying to bring her back. The only loss that Maranatha suffered this season was against Benilde St. Margaret's, a perennial 3A power. That was a team you beat in the first round of sections on your way to state.
Yep, remember that one. As
Watkins again. She has 2 putbacks, and here comes the press again.
They're in a 1-2-1-1, as we call a diamond press. See, has another turnover. That press is causing some havoc for them.
I think Como Park is so eager to pass the ball. You know, I'd say they're forcing it. Double dribble on Watkins. I think Como Park a little too pass happy. I know you can break the press that way, but
the thing what the girls have to learn is how you can kind of tell that some of the girls in the team may not be used to playing rushing as much, is that they're in a rush and they're rushing themselves when they get the ball over half court. They just need to calm down and settle down a little bit, and they'll be fine.
It's okay to run a set. Adams missing the 3-pointer. This could be the run that Maranatha up by 11. And they could be in position here to maybe get that finishing move. Maranatha, to me, has been the team that has held control throughout. Como's made a couple runs at them, but
they stayed composed. That's what the thing. Basketball is a game of composure, but that shows to say that every girl on their team but one has been in a state tournament. They've been on varsity for a while. Even though they're young, but they're experienced with varsity and winning experience.
Meanwhile, Como Park continuing to commit these unforced turnovers.
The last 5 possessions for for Como Park has ended in a bad shot and 4 turnovers.
And turnovers are going to happen, but to me, something I always look for are the unforced turnovers.
Exactly.
Because those are the things that you can control. Last week in a game I called against Cretin and Johnson, Johnson committed a few of those late, and that cost them a shot at knocking down their 4A competitor. Lexi Lee with an off-balance jumper.
As that was the first possession, that possession took actually 11 seconds. I was surprised on that one.
Well, that fits the 9 to 14 range.
See, this is what Como Park has to do. They have to stay composed and look up the court.
Monique Baker left all alone and gets her first field goal.
As Lexi Lee makes a terrific pass. As Jacqueline, she couldn't handle the pass, but Lexi Lee just made a great pass. That was an awesome pass.
Unfortunately, she turns it over to the Cougars. They trail 68-57 with 12:10 to go. No kickball there. Ooh, that was dangerous. Van Nett for 3, bullseye.
Van Nett has come through each time when they went on a run with a big-time 3.
And Como's been able to counter each one. It doesn't always look pretty, but they find a way to do it. And we talk about composure. Sometimes composure doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be gritty. Adams, great screen. Van Nett capitalizes with the triple. Foul on Rain Adams. I believe that's her 3rd.
I think Maranatha got the benefit of the doubt on that one. I think Lexi Lee just slipped on that play.
Rain Adams picks up her 4th. She has not scored in this half. And now Zanash Jurdrum will have to go in. Rain with 4 and Como out of fouls to give. That could be critical.
That could be really troublesome. That means Maranatha is shooting from the free throw line for the rest of the way of the game.
Lexi Lee on the drive, no good. Adams in transition, buries a 3. Every time it seems Como's about to fizzle out, they go back on a surge, but they leave Jarnett alone, and she drains the tray.
This game is intense. They're going to reach 100, 71-66, and there's 11 minutes to go.
Jacqueline Jarnett with the 3. Maranatha up by 5. Adams steps into a 3. That's strong. And
As
she
Adams
intercepts the pass.
Takes it away.
Weaves to the hole, and 1. She's elusive.
And she's persistent. She keeps going. And a lot of times she bobbles the ball, but she still manages to put it in the basket.
This game has been going by so fast, I've lost track of the free throws at this point. I don't know if I even have the right numbers here. I've got Como at 6 and 9, but.
Yeah, I don't even know. It seems like it's been far more than that, but we don't know. It's been such a fast game.
That's why I called them unofficial. Andrea Adams with 35 points. Closing in on her career high. Lexi Lee to the rack and in. Lee with 23. This is fun. I don't want this to end. Lee almost got the steal there. Lexi Lee, in the words of Chris Bierman, the best court vision out of all the guards he has seen in his coaching career. Como Park running a bit of a set. Adams, got to be careful. Almost got the 5-second call. Adams, oh, gets a little space, but too strong. Looked like it went off of Como from here, but.
Yeah, from my angle, it looked like it went off of Como as well. Maybe we got the benefit of the doubt on that call.
Well, maybe, but we're not at the baseline either. Adams, oh, I thought it was a block, but Lewis hit Adams going to the floor. And
I heard a lot of hand and arm on that one.
I did too, and we talked about it. When you go down, you risk the foul.
Exactly. That's the second time that someone's done that when Adams is shooting.
And she is not a player you want to foul. It's averaging, as you said, 78% from the line. The foul is Lewis's 3rd. 10:05 to go in a thrilling game. I guess maybe Super Bowl level intensity. Adams makes both, and she has tied her career high. 37 points. Jarnett losing the handle, and it's picked up by Vanette. Andrea Adams has numbers, goes, but again, a tough angle, but no. That was close, but it was off of Maranatha.
That was definitely close. This game was getting intense. Every time Maranatha goes up by double digits, Como Park makes a way to come back into the game. They're at 2 points again.
Did you ever have any games like this in the Big East?
Plenty of games like that.
Well, plenty of games. Well, even at North, that game, well, Benilde, you had to sweat that one out in that first round of playoffs.
Yeah, but then we played Orono. We're down by 22 at halftime and came back and won the game.
Adams. Offensive foul.
Basket has to be good on that one.
We have a discussion. They give her the three. They give her the three, and the foul was on Maranatha. It goes against Elise Moore, so Andrea Adams gives Como the lead. She scores 40 points for the first time in her career, and we still have 9:44 to go.
And I told you she's going to get 40. You think she's going to get 50?
We'll find out.
I think she's going to get 50.
She could take over the state scoring lead at this point. A 5-point play for Andrea Adams, and Como Park is up by 3.
She is single-handedly destroying Maranatha right now.
Lexi Lee left alone. Oh, that rams out. Battle for the rebound, won by Lewis, but loses the ball to Vanette. Vanette finds Autumn Tucker. She has 5 off the bench, almost loses it, regains control. Vanette will fire from distance and banks it in.
Maranatha may need a timeout on this play.
Como Park with their largest lead of the game at 6. Bierman going to his subs. Como Park showing a lot of grit. And there's a foul on Adams. That's your 4th. Oh,
that wasn't
my.
smart. She got a little happy on that one. That wasn't smart at all.
And she's going to have to be careful now. You can't take her out.
Remember what I said at halftime, though. Only way she wasn't going to reach the mark of points that she wanted is if she fouls out the game.
And she's 1 foul away from doing so. But she's not the only one. Well, Rain Adams has 4 fouls. Elena Jarnett going to the line because Como Park in the penalty again. This is a 1-on-1 situation. Jarnett with 17. Maranatha still has 1 to give, but let's see what happens here. Andrea Adams is going to have to play smart. And that time she got
They have
Naja
no
Watkins.
answer for Adams right now. Maranatha has
Not offensively.
answer.
And you don't even see them trying to draw a charge, but I think Adams is just too shifty for that.
Definitely. I think she's getting the ball up way before it's even possible for them to get a charge.
I don't know if anyone has 4 fouls on Maranatha, but they have several with 3. So Maranatha can't take it easy either from the foul situation. But in a game as aggressive as this, you figured the foul situation was going to play a role.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams are extremely aggressive. You're going to see a bunch of fouls.
Lexi Lee, backdoor cut. No! Oh, my goodness. But Maranatha wins the scrum. Lee, deep 3. Too strong. High Karam, though. Maranatha will get another try. It's Watkins this time. 3rd try is the charm.
They definitely needed that one. They needed that bucket to go in. Maranatha was getting a little bit down on themselves.
There's the press again. Como Park, I don't know what it is. Every time Maranatha goes 2-2-1, they seem stumped.
Right. They haven't found any answer for that yet.
(81-76), and Maranatha can make this a 1-possession game. Jarnett missing the bunny.
Jarnett's very crafty.
We've seen miss bunnies, we've seen big shots, so we've seen everything in this one. Andrea Adams kicks out to Autumn Tucker. 3 from the corner is short. And Adams had to lay off and not risk the 5th foul. Vanette fouling Lexi Lee at the... And the senior will shoot 2. Lee and Jarnett both in the 1,000 point club for the Maranatha Mustangs.
I like that when someone takes a shot on Como Park, Maranatha looks right up the court and they get it past the half-court line like less than 2 seconds.
Lexi Lee, as we mentioned in the open, 6th in the state in scoring, 2nd in assists, 5th in steals. And if you're wondering about her assist total, Lexi Lee, 6.8 assists, 5.4 steals. She makes both free throws. It's a 3-point game. Como Park ball, but once again, Maranatha, when they're in trouble, they start going press, and that's where Como Park has been able to...
And they're back in the press right now.
Como Park unable to shield from that. Here it comes again. Rain Adams, whoa.
She may got away with a walk on that one.
Twice. Autumn Tucker with the corner 3. Lexi Lee for the answer. No. Oh. You never want to fault scrappiness. You do wonder if she let it go, maybe a dead ball rebound, but
yeah.
As a player, you know this. You don't want to have that doubt. And John Robinson has taken off his jacket.
He's getting a little hot.
Well, it's been a little warm up here, but they turned on the heaters.
Thank God, I was freezing. My toes were a little numb.
Well, I'm all fired up for this one. 6-point margin. Jarnett couldn't put down the 3. And the rebound by Vanette. Adams goes up, missing the bounce. And that's off of Jacqueline Jarnett, so Como Park keeps it. This would be a huge win for Como Park. They started the season 2-4, including that loss to Cooper. Adams pump fakes the 3, missing the deuce. And Caitlin Jones not happy with herself, committing the over and back foul.
Yeah, she gave her a little shove in the back. A slight shove, enough to shift her.
And that's enough to draw the foul, and free throws coming. The foul is Jones's 3rd. This game's still not over, 6:42 left. Doesn't seem like much, but the pace of this game means that's an eternity of play. Watkins missing the front end, though. Maranatha pressing again. They are reaching all over. Caitlin Jones. Now that's been a difficulty of hers in the games I've seen. And Maranatha not going to wait. They see an opening.
No time. As Adams.
That was heads-up play by Maranatha. They saw Watkins open.
Because Adams and Jones were conversating.
And Caitlin Jones with a fast break deuce of her own. She's up to 10. I think Como Park got a little salty about that one.
I think that was a great pass by Alina.
Lexi Lee with a fadeaway
and
lay-in.
Alina Jarnett, that pass came out of nowhere.
How many passes have we seen come out of nowhere today? Adams, well, almost lost it, but it goes off of Alina Jarnett. And Como Park hangs on to it, 86-82. Como Park getting some support from players we don't normally hear much of, and that could be big. Caitlin Jones has 10, Michaela Vanette has 12. Adams has to avoid the 5-second call, and she does. Finds an open Vanette, her 5th triple of the game.
And each time she's made it has came from Adams. Adams has passed the ball to Jarnett each time.
How many assists will Adams have after this one?
She's made almost close to be a triple-double.
Ashley Lewis blows by Autumn Tucker, and she was called a great slasher by Bierman, and she proves that here. Oh, what a great fake. Jones's block follows her own shot, but didn't put enough English on it. Autumn Tucker's there to clean it up.
They're getting a lot of buckets from Autumn Tucker off the bench.
Autumn Tucker with 10 off the bench. And Caitlin Jones picks up her 4th foul.
I think she's a little tired. She was a little tired on that possession.
Well, and again, such a frenetic tempo. 91-84.
I told you we'll see 100.
We're getting close.
We're getting close to 100.
If we don't get there, we're going to be awfully close to it.
I'm like 97 maybe. No, I think we're going to get 100.
Naja Watkins to the line. Watkins, 4.2 points per game. Typically starts at center, and Bierman thinks she could be averaging double digits in future seasons. She's up to double digits here, making both free throws. A mobile post player with incredible vertical. Watkins makes this a 5-point margin. Van Nett in trouble. Going to Rain Adams. Rain, Andrea.
A little out of
Jones.
control on that play.
Van Nett, well, that was out of control too. And Andrea Adams has to let Elena Jarnett go.
3-point game.
3 players on the floor for Como with 4 fouls. Actually, Jones is out. There's the press again. Jump ball, Maranatha with the arrow. And I don't know why this happens. Como Park, and maybe they'll learn from this timeout here from John Robinson. They tend to leave the players alone in those situations.
I've never understood that. I see that happen a lot in this game, but I've never understood that.
And it's not just this game, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, I think they want to run their sets, but I always wonder, maybe I'm dense, why doesn't someone run back there to help out? Because as long as you don't cross the backcourt, you're fine. You don't get that backcourt violation.
Just like playing out of fear. Like, you know, some players are so nervous they don't want to actually go greet the ball. Maybe that's what it is.
You never had that problem at Providence, did you?
No, I didn't have to play the point guard. So I actually sometimes, it was great because I can handle the ball and I was a forward, so I was able to help my point guard out in situations like that. So it was pretty nice.
Well, I want to get that story in about Holker before we finished up. When she got the news of the ACL tear, she thought her high school career was over, was fortunate to get some therapy, and her parents were there to get her first varsity basket this year against Edison. And the family held a celebration afterward because it just meant so much for her to play. And it means everything to those players. When you get an injury, it's the worst feeling in the world almost.
It definitely is. I've suffered with 2 knee injuries, so I definitely know how she feels.
Rain Adams played that one a little softly. And a 1-point game as Elena Jarnett hits the 15-footer. 91-90. Adams, Andrea, spin move. This may be clutch time now. She may have to be the one. Steps into it and hits the 16-footer.
This kid is tough, and she has the confidence and the swag of a star.
And she broke my score chart. She's at 46.
She fouls out. She fouls out. Adams just fouled out. Adams just fouled out, if I'm correct. Adams just fouls out the game.
And that might be the dagger for Como Park.
Adams just fouled out the game.
Andrea Adams fouls out with 46.
As the crowd stands up and claps because she fouls out the game. As she's telling her teammates to win this game. She's trying to encourage them the best way she can. I told you, only way she wasn't going to get 50 is if she fouled out. I told you that.
And this game is so aggressive, you knew this was going to, this was a possibility.
I can feel it because I remember the time I was on my way to get 50 and I fouled out.
The Maranatha team jumping, they sensing that their chance of Maranatha's team jumping in anticipation. You know, they're sensing with Como's top player out, this might open the door. Andrea Adams is the team, as we noted. Where she goes, her teammates follow, and against that press, they've struggled.
And as the crowd is actually clapping their hands and cheering as she fouls out, that's impressive. That's funny.
Well, she had 46 unofficially, but they may not get the win here. What we'll see. Jacqueline Jarnett ties it at 93. Now it's up to the reserves. And a blocking foul is called. Rain Adams will go to the line. How about this? Rain Adams, 51% free throw shooter. I'd say a pressure situation would be an understatement.
Yes.
She hit a big three against St. Paul Central. Got a little bit of help though. Comes up empty here. And Lexi Lee scoring in transition. I don't know if Como.
I don't think Como has any answers.
I don't know if they can hang with them now. Well, Michaela Van Nett has other ideas.
Van Nett is not trying to lose this game. The 5 threes, and now she has a 2.
Up to 17, there's a trip and a foul.
And I think the other Adams, Rain Adams, just fouled out the game. If I'm right, I believe Rain Adams just fouled out the game as well.
It is. The Adams sisters have both fouled out. Rain had her moments, but Como Park does not have a deep roster, so now here's Rebecca Hausman, a player who struggled early and hasn't played up until now. So you're going to send in a cold player, but again, Como Park's roster not that deep. 2 free throws coming for Lexi Lee.
Both teams are fighting hard, though. They're competing, I can tell you that.
Steal, no finish, but the putback. Jacqueline Jarnett, I believe. Maranatha up by 4.
With Rain Adams out the game, this is causing a little havoc.
Maranatha can press at will now. And there's the 100-point figure you were talking about.
Maranatha's definitely in control right now.
Timeout, Como Park. I don't know if they have enough left.
Como Park has absolutely no guards to bring the ball up the floor. Both Adams sisters on the bench.
And Caitlin Jones, I don't know if she fouled out.
She has 4, if I believe. But she's not a point guard. The thing is that they need a guard. In a sense, every time Maranatha has ever pressed them, both Adams sisters was there to relieve Como Park.
101-95, 2:25 to go. Maranatha has cracked 100 points for the 4th time this season.
I told you it was going to happen. I don't like to say I told you so, but I told you it was going to happen. I told you that Andrea Adams was going to foul out, and she wasn't going to get 50 because she was going to foul out, and I told you they were going to crack 100 points.
And Como Park just doesn't have a lot left.
Well, you got to think, if you look on the scores, you got to think Andrea Adams scores over 70% of the team's points.
Maybe not that high, but
maybe like 50.
But she's a big bulk of it. And not a lot of Maranatha fans here, but
well, today
they're very
she scored
loud.
50% of the points.
As we said, Maranatha can press at will from this point. They don't have anyone to worry about right now. Van Nett goes up and under, and she'll shoot 2.
Van Nett is showing a little fight in her right now.
Van Nett, 68% free throw shooter, 11.3 points per game. So while Andrea gets a lot of talk, Van Nett has been a good secondary option, and I guess it functions similarly to Jacqueline Jarnett. They score points, but you don't know about it until you look at the final box score. But this game, and I had a sense going in, we were going to see Maranatha's depth come into play, and lo and behold, that's exactly what we're seeing.
Michaela Barnett at 18 points.
That matches her season high. But Como, they're going to need stops here with 2:16 left. And you know Maranatha's not going to play keep away. Hausman with a deflection.
Como Park showing a zone right now.
They almost have to play a zone. They don't have the bodies to play man.
As Maranatha is playing keep away, they're not looking to attack the basket right now.
Maranatha's longest possession, but it comes up with no points. Here comes the press again. Van Etten almost lost the dribble. Baker. Well, at the very least, they're stopping the clock. And that fifth foul on Andrea, that was a tough one as well. She wasn't in motion, but there was contact. And
yeah, a little body, just maybe a slight, maybe like a hair of a body.
Well, you got to be careful with those.
And I think what was really, really hard was that her younger sister fouled out a minute later.
You wonder if those two, and again, with the game as aggressive as this, had they stayed in, might be a different story.
Yeah, I think it would. Como Park had a really, really good chance to win this game if both of those were on the floor, both sisters on the floor.
They draw another foul, though.
They got to make their free throws. Free throws are critical.
It doesn't help that your best free throw shooter's on the bench, too.
Right.
Your best everything.
I was going to say, is it too hard to say best everything?
And I'd say for Como Park, it's a cliche, but the rest of the team is going to grow up pretty fast after this one.
Yeah, definitely.
4 straight misses. Well, they keep getting free throws, but they're not putting them in. So Maranatha, they could keep on fouling here, and it's not going to hurt them that much. They've got to make the free throws, as you pointed out, but it means
you know what I just noticed? Remember we said best everything? She leads the team in every category. Best at everything.
Well, Elena Jarna picks up her 4th. So Maranatha, they're still not out of this yet.
And that's the 5th straight miss. If they would have made these 5 free throws, the game would be tied.
This rings shades of DePaul Notre Dame from earlier this year. DePaul missing a lot of free throws late in the second half and overtime. Any one of them would have given them the win. Instead, Notre Dame was able to hang on. Baker finally gets one. But Maranatha, they're going to play keep away here. Autumn Tucker lost her shoe. Como Park's going to either have to foul or try to get the steal. Maranatha will not take any shots needlessly.
Yeah, they're playing keep away.
And Como Park, they're letting too much time up. Now John's saying you got to foul, and there it is.
I used to hate when teams play keep away. It's probably the most annoying thing I've ever had to deal with.
Well, there's no shot clock, so a lot of teams take advantage of it. But that's where you have to. That's where I guess aggressiveness and reading the passing lanes becomes critical. Lexi Lee, what a game! And Maranatha, they're a small school. They get overshadowed by a lot of the bigger schools from around the metro. Como Park over pursued again, and now Maranatha can get more time. But Maranatha, their ability to stay consistent year after year. They've been in the state 5 years in a row. They've won 2 of them. And they've got alumni playing in college. Onya Seminum playing at Missouri State now. Madison Lee playing at MSU Mankato. It's very tough to be this consistent when you deal with graduations, but Maranatha finds a way to get it done. Van Etten's going to foul out.
Van Etten fouls out as well.
I don't think it's going to matter at this point.
Yeah.
Maranatha had the depth. Como Park has the talent, but again, when you don't have many players available, and building a program can take time.
Yeah. It's really hard.
I mean, Maranatha, they're at where they're at because they've had years of this.
Yeah.
And it's a K-12 school. A lot of these kids know each other.
Grew up together.
And it's an interesting scenario because Bierman, he's talked about, he has to work on coping skills while they're still in the same vicinity. I mean, in a bigger school, you have some distance to separate yourself. Here at Maranatha, if you have a conflict, as Elena Jarnett makes both, you have a conflict with somebody, you can't get farther than six classrooms away. Autumn Tucker going to Jasmine Thomas. Block was clean. Maranatha will hang on and move to 15-1 on the season. Como Park's winning streak will come to an end. Maranatha.
It was a great game.
Great game, but Maranatha getting Como Park's top players out with foul trouble. The Cougars did not have the depth to hang on. 104-97 the final. Lexi Lee with 34 points. Elena Jarnett with 23. And even though she fouled out, we have to give props to Andrea Adams, a career-high 46, and I've got a feeling we haven't seen the last of her.
I don't think so. She has one more year, and I can only imagine what that's going to bring.
And she still has many games left to play this year.
Exactly.
Well, Como Park can't hang their heads for long because they've got Woodbury coming up. Hastings, that's going to be competitive, and as it stands right now, they be in the Twin Cities game. So a lot to be proud of. They didn't get the win, but you have to admire their grit.
Yes.
They could have folded many times. They didn't give up.
And they continue to keep playing. It was a great game overall.
All right. We'll see if we can get a word with some of these players on both sides because it was such a great game. Maranatha with the win, 104-97. This is high school girls basketball. And even though she fouled out, we have to give props to Andrea Adams, a career-high 46, and I've got a feeling we haven't seen the last of her.
I don't think so. She has one more year, and I can only imagine what that's going to bring.
And she still has many games left to play this year.
Exactly.
Well, Como Park can't hang their heads for long because they've got Woodbury coming up. Hastings, that's going to be competitive, and as it stands right now, they be in the Twin Cities game. So a lot to be proud of. They didn't get the win, but you have to admire their grit.
Yes.
They could have folded many times. They didn't give up.
And they continue to keep playing. It was a great game overall.
All right. We'll see if we can get a word with some of these players on both sides because it was such a great game. Maranatha with the win, 104-97. This is high school girls basketball. Just as hard to stop, and how are you able to move the ball so quickly? Because you're one of the fastest paced teams I've seen all season, and that leads to some mistakes, but you're able to recover from them quickly as well.
Well, we've known each other for a really long time, so knowing each other helps us, see each other better. So I think that helps us see us quicker almost, but yeah.
Your coach talked about how you've embraced a leadership role this season after playing up behind folks like Madison Lee and Onye Seminum. How have you embraced that, and how have you grown this season being the proverbial captain of this ship?
It's a big role to take, but just talking to them more and more and being a leader is, yeah.
And I guess what is exciting about this role that you haven't had to perhaps deal with before?
I mean, it's a big honor. There's been great players in Maranatha that have had the role of being a captain, and I'm just trying to be the best I can be for my team and be a good leader.
And Elena, you chipped in as well. I think 22 was my last count. How do you get through a game like this where Como's countering just about every surge they threw out at you, and it took players fouling out to get that final push?
Well, I'd definitely say defense. If we can play defense as a team and talk, we can score really easily on transition, I would say, and we can all score. So defense, I would say, if you can shut down Andrea, that we can do it. So, yeah.
And what do you learn from a game like this? Because your coach mentioned some teams are a bit reluctant to play you because you're so talented, and here Como Park pushed you to the brink.
I would just say never give up because we went down by 9, I think he said, and we just never look at the score. We're just always going to go right to the end. So.
And all but one of you on the current roster has been to a state tournament. Maranatha has been there 5 years in a row. What makes them such a consistent contender in Class A? What makes you guys so consistent? It's very rare to get all these state tournaments.
I would say our coach is like a really good. He pushes us in practice and like whenever we're practicing and we don't want to do something, it's always like push it because we want to get to state tournament and we want to work really hard to get there. So, yeah.
And with the tempo you guys play, how do you make sure you don't get too out of control? Because sometimes you make some mistakes, but you recover from those. I mean, it's not a tempo we see too often at this level.
Yeah, we do play really fast, I would say, but sometimes we just have to like slow down and just like run our offensive plays and get good shots. So, yeah.
So as we get ready for the last month of the season, where do you want to grow and what are you looking forward to? Of course, you want to get to state again, but what are some other goals you have?
Well, really, we're just like playing together. Well, we're like playing together as a team more and really just, well, because we've been playing not like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer this question.
Well, perhaps you two can answer this one. Anybody you want to say hi to that's watching this?
I don't know who's watching it.
Well, just say hi to anybody if you want.
Hi, everybody.
What about you, Elena?
Hey, family.
I'm sure they're appreciative, even if you're a little speechless on who to greet. Great game today. One of the most phenomenal displays of offense I've seen, and it was a lot of fun coming out here. And thanks to your performance, our broadcast team is almost out of breath.
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations on the win, and perhaps we'll see you in state.
Thanks. Thank you.
Lexi Lee and Elena Jarnett of Maranatha Christian Academy. I'm here with Andrea Adams, 46 points, a career high, and a tough way to go out with the disqualification. But how much fun was it to be in a game where there was so much back and forth intensity?
It was fun. It was the highest scoring game of the season for us as well, so it was pretty fun. It was fun to go against some teammates of mine, so yeah.
What do you learn from this kind of a game where you came up a little bit short, but Maranatha showed a lot of things, and then you showed a lot of grit fighting off those early runs?
It just proves that we working hard. We're really working hard, and we truly like started from the bottom, and we're soaring high right now. And we want to keep it that way. So this is not going to take us down at all. We just got to keep pushing. We got another game Monday, and we're gonna keep going.
And off that note, you had 10 straight wins before today, and you had a 2-4 start. So how do you think you've grown this season where you've been able to put together these thrilling performances?
Well, my teammates and I we've come together so much since since we started off 2-4, and we haven't really looked back. So we're not going to look back now. This is one loss.
And that being said, your teammates helped you out. Van Nett had a big game. Even your younger sister made a few plays. Is this perhaps a sign of the growth that the younger players or less experienced players have demonstrated?
Yeah, they're definitely getting better and accustomed to the high school scene. It's a lot different from, junior high when they're blowing every team out. So they're coming along really nicely.
And for you, what is a 46 point? And I think we counted at least a double-double, maybe a triple. You say triple? You stuffed the stats, but for a game like this, how do you grow and move forward?
I just keep playing. We just got to keep going one game at a time. We got to keep putting up big performances so I don't really want to lose anymore, so, yeah.
That might be tough to do, but so let me ask you this. Are we going to see 50 points from you in the near future now? You've gotten past 40.
Maybe. Oh, no.
Anybody you want to say hi to that's watching this?
Just to my family, my teammates. Good job today. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Andrea, again. It came up short, but a great performance, and very happy to be a part of it today. And thanks to you, we're almost out of breath.
Thanks.
You go celebrate, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
All right. Yes.
Andrea Adams of Como Park, thank you for watching our coverage of high school basketball. I'm Mike Peden. We'll see you next time.